apartment with his mother.
No fucking wonder. No fucking wonder. No fucking wonder, nigga. Bro, he lives with his fucking mother, bro. Bro, this nigga is chronically online and lives with his damn mother. If that does not tell you exactly what the hell's going on, I do not know what to say. Bro, no wonder. This man don't got no life. Oh, NSG, we back again with day 6. And you know what that means. Day 6. We are going to continue on where we left off last video, because this is part 2 of the internet's most dangerous prank site. And if you did not see last video, it was getting kind of crazy. I advise go check that out if you really can. But yeah, let me try to speed this up because I know people got attention spans of a squirrel, and I'm not gonna call out names because yeah. Also, I just want to few things out of y'all before we continue on. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell because it means that y'all fucking with the content, and it also means that y'all get to join, know the gang, and also don't forget to share the video no matter who. And yeah, let's get straight to it. All right, part 2. Let's get through it.
They convinced a man that his room was filled with deadly poisonous spiders and that the tenant had to bust the hotel window open to get them out.
We had one other room do this already.
Oh my god.
I done broke this window out.
Oh no, my black brother. My black brother. No, y'all some bitches.
Game, but the call came from you.
Another time, PrankNet manipulated an elderly man into destroying a wall in a hotel after claiming, quote, a midget, unquote, was trapped in the next room.
We have an emergency in room 107. We have a crazy maniac man. He's throwing out TVs, busting up walls and everything. Can you please have someone here?
According to an incident report, a 73-year-old guest in room 107 was asleep when the phone rang. The caller claimed to be hotel management and convinced the guest to throw the TV outside and break all the mirrors in order to get rid of cameras planted by a previous guest. The caller also convinced the guest that there was a little person barricaded in the room next door and that he needed to help police get to him, so the guest started breaking through the wall.
In another, a PrankNet caller, which sounds to be Dex himself, tricks a man into setting off the sprinkler system in his hotel. The subsequent flooding can be heard through the phone's receiver.
Okay, sir, we have an emergency situation going on. Apparently, we have a malfunction with some of the sprinkler systems. Are you able to get onto the bed and reach the sprinkler system? Yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically knock that out, that metal tube. That's going to deactivate the sprinkler system.
So
okay,
just reach up in there and
yes,
pop it out?
Yes.
In an unrelated incident, a video purportedly taken by a PrankNet user was published, which showed video of a hotel flooding, presumably thanks to one of PrankNet's schemes. While we're still on the topic of hotels, I'd like to transition from these sillier incidents to one of Dex's most disturbed calls. A call that left an innocent woman
guys,
and
here
her
we
cousin terrified for their lives. This is the PrankNet gas leak hoax.
Hurry, do it! God damn it! Let it out! Hurry, Mo, do it! Hurry, all of it! More of it, more!
Do you want that TV to explode? I don't give a fuck what happens to your whole motherfucking place. I'm walking out of here. Die tonight, because that's what's going to happen if you don't listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
Near midnight on February 19th, 2009, at a Best Western in Santee, California, Dex and a PrankNet associate were connected to room 208, where a woman answered the phone. When asked if she was alone in the room, the woman replied that it was just her and her cousin. The pranksters then deploy their ruse. The hotel was experiencing a potentially lethal leak of highly flammable gas.
Can you unplug the television and anything that's like the coffee pot? If you have a microwave, yeah, because it holds electric charge, and we do not want an explosion to occur.
When she begins to comply, the prankster starts up an elaborate social engineering tactic, where he pretends to be speaking to the fire department on the phone at the same time as her, which made the situation seem legitimate.
Jonathan Davis here. Yes. Are you kidding me? 2 of them. Well, we're gonna be here soon. Hurry up. Oh my God. You want her to do that? Yeah, that's fine with me. I'll pay for it. Yeah.
Once she was totally convinced of the gas leak ruse, they commanded her to start smashing out windows, explaining that they had to let fresh air into the room.
Ma'am, you need to get a 5-foot by 8-foot section busted out the window. Get fresh air in that room right now.
Panicking, the woman recruits her cousin to start busting out windows in this hotel room.
Bust the window out. Hurry, bust the window out.
An audible crash can be heard, after which the woman yells out.
Okay, it's out. It's out. It's busted.
The whole thing, ma'am. Keep clearing it.
The whole thing. Keep crashing it. Hurry, do it. God damn it. Bust it out. Hurry, Mo, do it.
Audibly, you can hear the cousin smashing more stuff, windows, what have you.
Hurry, all of it. More of it, more.
Hurry, ma'am. Hurry, urgent.
Whoa, do it now.
The poor woman becomes distraught, begging to get out of the room.
I want to get out of this room.
You guys creating that airflow is definitely helping the situation right now.
But then things would get even more worrying, as Dex told the woman that even though all of the windows were apparently smashed, she now needed to take out the television as well.
Now, is the TV unplugged?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Now, that TV holds an electric charge. So you need to get the shower curtain rod or an iron or a chair, and you need to aim for center screen and break the glass.
When requested to do so, it sounds like the cousin in the background balked back at the command.
Do the TV.
I'm not breaking nothing.
He won't do it. He won't do it for me. He won't.
Do it. Someone has to step up and do it, ma'am.
Get out.
Hey, what's going on here? And you walk your fucking ass down here and handle it. Do you want that TV to explode? I don't give a fuck what happens to your whole motherfucking place. I'm walking out of here. Die tonight, because that's what's gonna happen if you don't listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
By this point in the call, the room looks like a tornado.
The cousin seemed like he got tired.
And the victims finally start to
his
realize that they may be getting played.
This guy is.
I want to get out of this room, please.
Things get a bit confusing here, as it sounds like another person from outside shows up in the room. The woman begs them to break it, and they refuse.
Come here, break this TV screen with that iron. Come here and do it for us.
Eventually, the woman leaves to argue with the other guest, and the pranksters begin to talk amongst themselves.
We're gonna transfer her. She's too frantic. We gotta transfer her. Another room or crazy bitch in 208.
The sick call ends with Dex complaining that there's only 38 people watching his live stream.
Yeah, Kat, but the only shitty thing is that there's 38 people listening. So that's a reflection of how many people are actually paying attention out of 80 people in the room. So that kind of sucks.
In the aftermath, as cops appeared on the scene and questioned the tenants of room 208, the male cousin relayed the story and told police about the gas leak. This cousin, who was on parole at the time, was likely worried about going back to prison over some bullshit. You know, him destroying the room in a panic. So this man would agree to pay cash to...
Okay, if you think about it like that, like, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, because bro, he don't want to end up like catching a charge. I forgot what they call that, like vandalism, and that can really get you some time. Cause yeah, especially since you don't really know who the hell is this person. This person could be just a random person. So you gotta understand his wherewithal about all of it. You're like, I get where he's coming from.
To the hotel in exchange for not getting charges pressed and arrested. While this prank isn't necessarily as bad as people peeing on each other or being tricked into drink urine, I find it particularly disturbing because of how audibly terrified the victims are, specifically the woman was, and how little Dex seems to care. The sheer insistence on continuing this call despite the rapidly spiraling woman, it takes a sick fuck to go through with something like this.
Right.
And whining about the viewer count at the end of the call, it makes Dex look like a stone-cold psychopath. Dex and his gang had become increasingly reckless and sadistic with their calls. Innocent people were getting traumatized all around the United States. Things started to get out of hand. Which brings us to our final act.
Wait, that's these people? The motherfucker look Indian.
The downfall of PrankNet and its enigmatic leader, Dex. After an unknowable amount of successful pranking attacks, PrankNet had begun to gather a reputation in online circles, and the live calls were growing in popularity at the expense of the public. The members managed to remain anonymous and thus far unpunished, mostly thanks to the ignorance of legacy mainstream journalists and police. Investigators just couldn't seem to pin down who was behind these illegal pranks. But that would all change when small internet-based media outlet, The Smoking Gun, joins the fray. Founded by journalists William Bastone, Barbara Glauber, and Daniel Green, The Smoking Gun was known for exposing criminal acts through the use of legal documents, criminal records, and mugshots. And in 2009, this small group of journalists conducted a massive expose in what would inevitably result in the mischievous prank network's downfall. Curious as to the source of these internet pranks,
motherfucking dead ass look like
dedicated a large portion of time into researching
Ronnie from
PrankNet.
2K.
Under the guise of being online fans, the journalists infiltrated PrankNet's audience, and after recording and observing the methods of
give him
the
a
group
fucking
from the
beard.
inside, they managed to connect 60 prank incidents to PrankNet.
Dead ass
The
like
most
Ronnie.
important discovery of their work was the identity of this online circus's ringmaster, Dex. The Smoking Gun would uncover Dex's identity using a rather devious tactic. So Dex highly valued his anonymity for obvious reasons, but he had a weakness in the sense that he wanted to be the center of attention. The guy had an insatiable urge for public infamy, and the Smoking Gun took advantage of this. They offered Dex an interview, one he would accept, and in it he would explain the reasoning behind why he did what he did. But it wasn't the interview itself that exposed Dex. It was actually something that transpired afterwards. You see, once the interview was published, Dex was very excited to read it. The Smoking Gun would provide him with a link to it. How accommodating of them. Being the narcissistic guy that he was, Dex eagerly clicked on the link to see what they had to say about him. But little did Dex know, that link had an IP grabber attached to it. As soon as Dex clicked the link from the Smoking Gun, the journalists had the guy's IP address. They knew where he was located, that area being Windsor in Ontario, Canada. The hard part was now over, as soon enough they would have Dex's specific location and residence. And soon they would have Dex's real name, that name being Tarek Malik. In their research, they discovered that Tarek was an isolated shut-in of sorts, staying on his computer all day and rarely leaving the house. Which, I gotta be honest, this is a complete shocker to me. You mean to tell me the guy who spends most of his time setting up online prank calls where he harasses hotel customers and fast food workers is terminally online? No fucking way! According to the Smoking Gun, Tarek's online alias Dex was inspired by the vigilante serial killer series Dexter and that character. The guy saw himself as an anti-hero of sorts and claimed he did his pranks to punish what he saw as the stupid people of society. Yeah, this guy was a complete fucking incel, basically. From here, the Smoking Gun learned that Dex had been pranking people for close to a decade and facilitated most of his calls using untraceable encrypted voice-over IP services, which were poorly understood by most people at the time of this story taking place. They also speculated that part of the reason Dex hadn't been caught yet was due to him living in Canada and him targeting almost exclusively American businesses, which created a jurisdictional nightmare for anyone who even wanted to consider prosecuting him. However, this jurisdictional loophole would not stop the Smoking Gun and their laser-focused sights that had been fixed on the telephone terrorist. On July 21, 2009, investigative journalists from the Smoking Gun, equipped with the man's home address, arrived at Dex's residence located on Assumption Street in Windsor, Ontario, a ramshackle ground-floor apartment. The reporters attempted to confront Tarek face-to-face, knocking on the door, but the man stayed hidden inside his apartment with his mother. In an effort to get them to leave,
no fucking wonder. No fucking wonder. No fucking wonder, nigga. Bro, he lives with his fucking mother, bro. This nigga lives with his fucking mom. Bro, this nigga is chronically online and lives with his damn mother. Bro, if that does not tell you exactly what the hell's going on, I do not know what to say. Bro, no wonder. This man don't got no life. You don't got no life. You don't got no life. And listen, I say this personally to anybody that's out there. If y'all live with y'all mother and y'all probably like in y'all 20s, probably around like 25, and that's when I end up probably making like the cutout date, depending on your situation, because it all depends. Is nothing wrong with it, but it has a bad stigma about it as well. And you end up having to think about it as a whole. You're like, you live with your mother, and he's probably in his 30s. Ain't looking so well.
He even resorted to calling the police, which I can only imagine the reporters found a bit humorous given why they had come there. The cops would come and stepped inside Tarek's place.
Not everybody can end up getting themselves an apartment or like.
They simply informed the journalist that the man didn't want to talk, and with that, they left. They didn't get their confrontation, but in the grand scheme of things, this didn't matter. They already had everything they needed. Tarek's identity and his address had been found and confirmed, and it wouldn't be long before that identification was published online to the Smoking Gun's website and later broadcasted on Canadian news media.
He's 25 years old, lives in this ground floor apartment with his mother in Windsor's East End. And according to his landlord, he's a homebody. His name, Tarek Malik.
What do you know about the guy that lives in that apartment?
I don't know too much about him. He all the time in the room, I know that.
How do you know that?
Never go out.
The Smoking Gun, a New York City-based investigative website, alleges that Malik, or Dex as he's known online, is the mastermind behind PrankNet, an internet group that has orchestrated more than 100 outrageous telephone pranks over the last year.
The head of the operation was now being blown up in the press, but Smoking Gun wouldn't stop at just unmasking Dex. Soon they'd have the identity of several other prominent players within PrankNet, members like William Marquis, who went by the alias Hempster, and Sean Powell, a user on PrankNet known as Slipknot Psycho. And one of the most critical findings was 19-year-old James Tyler Markle, aka Prankster. James had participated alongside Dex in some of the more notorious pranks, which included the infamous hotel urine drinking prank from
oh my god, he does kind of look like
where James Markle had convinced
a person that will sound like that, bro.
Guy's piss, thinking it was apple cider.
He sounds just like how he looks.
That. Markle would not only be exposed for his pranks, but for his sordid and perverted past as well. The Smoking Gun put this prankster on blast, reporting that back in 2005, James had been sentenced to serve 30 months in a youth detention center after pleading.
James Tyler Markle pled guilty to aggravated sexual assault of a child and was sentenced in 2005. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. Bro, the thing is, once you have this attached to your name, you should never see the light outside. Like, you should never, ever see freedom. Listen, you should get life. Life. And life is like 25 years? Listen, is it a life or... You know what? I do you one better. You over here want to do stuff to kids? You want to do stuff to kids so bad? Live execution, man. Live execution. Because what the fuck do you gain from doing stuff like this to innocent little girl? It literally says right here, and they most likely are credible. They said once convicted of raping a 5-year-old girl in the bathroom of a Texas church. And this man looked like he would do something like this. He looked like Jared deadass. Let's keep it a buck.
Guilty to the sexual assault of a young girl that occurred back in 2004.
Okay, hold up. Then when the child who was attending Sunday service got up to use the bathroom, Markle followed her into the room and sexually assaulted her. Oh, you a sick nigga. Oh, you a sick motherfucker. Okay. Hey, still stands public execution. Right there. He said, and then warned the girl that he would, in GTA, kill her parents if she did not comply with it. After the assault, he warned the girl not to tell anyone about the attack or her parents would hate her forever.
Guilty to the sexual assault of a young girl that occurred back in 2004. And as you now know, years later, James participated in numerous pranknet pranks and was now being punished for them. Markle would be arrested in 2009 after a stunt involving him convincing employees of a Lufkin, Texas McDonald's to activate the fire extinguishers and smash out windows. He was convicted of third-degree criminal mischief between $20,000 and $100,000, and in November of 2010 was sentenced to serve 5 years in prison, with most of his time being suspended. After prison, Markle actually spoke to the smoking gun and claimed he was remorseful for his actions. Although he was never arrested for his piss-drinking crime in Kentucky, he specifically apologized for convincing the hotel employee to drink the urine. He said he did what he did because he was trying to impress Tarek. Quote, "I was a puppy dog who chased after Dex," unquote. Later in 2017, Markle would be arrested again for failure to comply with a sexual registration charge, and that's about the last update regarding
like I said,
guy. A man
he is
named
not
Sean
sorry.
Powell was highlighted by the smoking gun as well, and is notable for being another arrested member
He's sorry that he got
specifically
caught.
for pranknet activity. In 2009, Sean was arrested for a prank call that he made on an Arby's location. When questioned by authorities, he admitted to being the culprit alongside, quote, a large group.
You know what? I could make such a mean-spirited joke because hey, you got one of his eyes looking that way and you got one of his eyes looking this way. But you know what? Listen, I'm a born again Christian. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna end up keeping this relationship with the Lord. Cause it's over here. Listen, this is keeping me. I want to say it. So you mean to tell me this cross-eyed motherfucker was one of them motherfuckers? Listen, people that was like along with him or linked to it, you deserve jail time. Seriously.
Questioned by authorities, he admitted to being the culprit alongside, quote, a large group who make prank calls via voice-over internet connections to hotels and restaurants, unquote. Sean added that he was, quote, new to the game and that this was the first restaurant he had called. Sean was reportedly charged with misdemeanor criminal mischief, narrowly avoiding a felony charge which requires $1,500 in damages. When the dust settled from Smoking Gun's inquisition into Pranknet, we find 2 people had been arrested and the operations leader had seemingly fallen off the face of the earth. Dex and Pranknet had been completely exposed, and people were calling for Tarek's arrest across the internet and in real life. In light of this, the man ceased his activities on Pranknet, likely fearing jail time, and slinked away into the shadows. For those of you
so now
hoping
you're
this
a
man
pussy.
would face justice for his deeds,
Nah, this nigga's a pussy.
You, but he never truly would. Either because of jurisdictional issues or the feds simply not caring enough, Tarek, aka Dex, was never brought into custody or made
you was doing all this to innocent people
perpetrated using Pranknet.
And now you don't want to come outside
since the scandal and the smoking gun exposing him. Sadly, the only people that had to reckon with this sick degenerate's actions were his victims. It's important to remember that Dex and his group targeted completely innocent people, many of which were hard-working service industry employees or weary travelers seeking respite in hotels. Hundreds of people were affected and were traumatized by this group. While it's easy to get lost in the spectacle of these prank calls, remember that the targets were real people. People's family members, friends, and loved ones who were just trying to get through their own daily grind and were selected at random to be harassed by a group of sociopaths. The people who fell victim to Pranknet deserve great sympathy. When researching this story, I was truly shocked by the depravity in these pranks. And not only that, I couldn't believe that the group was able to essentially get away with all of this without any major consequence.
That's what I'm saying.
I think what truly made Pranknet possible was how novel making prank calls from the internet would have been at this time, using voice-over IP services that almost no one was really familiar with. The police and investigators just didn't know where to look. This story is over a decade old, and I feel like it could serve as a cautionary tale for the future. In the world of streaming, clout chasing, and people doing anything for attention, I could foresee a time on the internet where vicious prank calls like this come back into fashion. I hope those of you who watch this video will call that out if it ever does, be it Discord groups or otherwise. While Dex may have gotten away with this, together we can make sure that other innocent people aren't harmed by newcomers to the scene. Thank you for watching.
Hey, shout out to bro. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. And listen, I appreciate everybody there sliding through. If you came back from part 1 of, I think that was day 5. It was day 5, where we seen the most disgusting and vile thing. But thank God they got caught. The other one got away because he's scared to come outside. Hey man, I think that's very vile and disgusting, and some of them deserve longer jail sentences. And the thing is, bro, when you end up having certain things like that, like, bro, the thing is, you wanna know the crazy thing is, right? Most people that get caught up with like a marijuana charge gets more years than what they got when they got. Let that sit in. Let that sit in. Let that sit in your head. It ain't like they're a kingpin. It ain't like they're dang what. You know, it's crazy. But outside of that, though, let me know what y'all think in the comments about all the things that just transpired that y'all seen. Also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't ever miss an upload. And it truly shows that y'all fuck with my content. And also, it gets you to join Noti Gang. And also, don't forget to share the video no matter who it is, because it will help my content a whole lot. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that coming through. And I see y'all for day 7. Day 7. I am out, y'all.